Wisconsin's governor is set to outline his priorities for state spending tomorrow night.
Governor Tony Evers will make that address at 7 p.m. from the state capitol building. The governor outlined his priorities over the weekend, which includes spending on public schools, prison renovations, and violence prevention. When asked about how changes in federal funding impacted his priority list, the governor says, quote, "It's been outrageous."
It makes it very, very difficult. You know, we're going to have a budget that we believe is appropriate for Wisconsin, but it's difficult to do it in concert with what's happening in Washington, D.C.
We will have a stream of the speech on our website at 7 tomorrow. We'll also have a recap tomorrow at 10 on Northern News Now.
Voters in Wisconsin